Good morning and happy Saturday. Today, we're going to talk about what's to come on the channel with my upcoming plans as the summer's arriving and what the future may behold. I'm off work today, so I've had some time to get some breakfast and I put out my Talladega race vlog, so check it out for sure. For those who don't know me, I'm Tristan Folks and I really enjoy posting content involving the things I love, such as Canada soccer, NASCAR, hockey, and more to come, which we'll get into later in this video. We're up to 42 subscribers now, so thanks to everyone who has been a part of this. Notably, my Stanley Cup playoff bracket video has been a top hit on the channel, and I'll be releasing a Stanley Cup playoff video on Monday, so stay tuned for that. Before we get into my plans coming up in the future, this will be a day in the life type of vlog, so coming up in about 10 minutes, I'll be watching NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying as I play NASCAR Fantasy, so I'll be studying that. But I also love NASCAR, so I would be watching anyways, honestly. So at the end of the video, I will leave my fantasy picks, believe it or not, and you can also find those on my X/Twitter, which will be in the description below. Also, I am wearing my new Toronto FC kit. They got knocked out on Wednesday in the Canadian Championship prelims against CF Montreal, which is absolutely embarrassing. So our season really doesn't have much to play for. They play the New England Revolution, so we'll see if they can turn the page. So other than that, we're going to head inside to the crib, and I'll show you a little about how I like to work my NASCAR fantasy picks. Alright, I just wanted to show you kind of what I do. So after Talladega, when I got to the hotel in Birmingham, I ended up making some pre-race picks. So when it comes to practice, qualifying, and the race, I'll look at how they did in stages. Did they wreck? How good did they do in qualifying and practice? So you got to keep all these things to account. I know Texas last year was crazy, so I put those 6 drivers of that I would like to use, and then I really keep close eyes on them. Alright, so that's practice. So now that practice is done, I've watched everything. It looks like I'm probably going to change some stuff, but then I'm also going to look at some very advanced stats, which I'll show you what type of stats I like to look at. Alright, so Carson Hocevar just won his first career pole, so now we're going to look at some advanced stats, which I'll show you what I look at, and we're also taking into account the starting lineup, and we'll look how far drivers have came back. Alright, so there's a site called ifantasyrace.com, so I'll end up looking at all these averages first. We'll see what the top speeds were. Top speeds don't really so much matter, since I feel it's just what that first lap turns out to be. This turns out to be massive, and then, like I said, we'll also see where guys are starting. Alright, so we just finished up making my picks. I had a hard time low-key. We gotta take risk. I don't even know if these are much risk, but we'll just see what happens tomorrow. Also, right now, I'm gonna do some cleaning, and then talking about plans in the future, I'm going to finalize some of those plans right now, so we'll talk about them later. We're gonna head out later on, and I'll talk about all my plans while driving. Alright, we are back. I watched Toronto FC lose as per usual. Not a fun match, but anyways, to the good stuff. We're getting into what my upcoming plans look like up until August. Coming up next weekend, I will be at the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway, so stay tuned for that if you're into the race vlogs. Excited for what I'll bring for an intermediate track. And then June 1st, we don't have a lot planned in May, so don't expect a lot of content on this channel, but going into June, I will be heading out to Nashville for the Crackle Barrel 400, which will be another race vlog, so once again, stay tuned for that. It should be very exciting. And then also in June, my Toronto Blue Jays will be coming to town to play the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-game series, and I plan to be at all those games, so we're going to put some baseball content out there, and I think we're going to just try to have a lot of fun going to these games. And then right around there, after that, the CONCACAF Gold Cup rolls right around the corner. As of now, I will be at the 2 matches in Houston that Canada is playing in. They'll play Curacao in the 2nd match of their group. And in the 3rd match, they will play El Salvador. And then we'll just have to see where we go from there. If there's some reason elimination, I'm not really too sure. But if there is an elimination, the women's national team will be playing in Washington, D.C. So we could just very well end up in D.C. I don't think so, but we'll just have to see. And then also going into July, we could be still going to Gold Cup matches, but also that is when the NASCAR in-season tournament final is at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I will also be at that race, so really excited. I've never been to an oval NASCAR race at Indianapolis, aka the Brickyard 400. So that would be a great experience. I've seen the road course, I've seen the Indy 500, but I've not seen the Brickyard 400, so it would be nice to mark that off the list, even though I've been to the track already. And then going into August, we shouldn't have any issues, but I will be going to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 back in Daytona, so I'll go back up in Florida for maybe 4 days, and should be all good on that. So we'll see, and then I'll talk the rest since we're going to go pick up some food during second intermission between Colorado and Dallas, which is a 1-0 game led by Colorado right now. Alright, it's very rainy throughout the loop. But anyways, so in September, I should be going to the St. Louis race when I come back. I also have a very special surprise that I will not tell you about until after I come back. So stay tuned for that. And then expected from October through April, I'll be away for work for a while. A lot of content's just gonna have to be whatever my living space is for the time being. So we'll see what that is, but I'm looking forward to going out to wherever I'll be going out and doing what I do for my job. I've also came up with some cool ideas that I could do, such as maybe NFL pick'ems, maybe we'll do some NASCAR race reviews, maybe some NHL stuff. I'm not too sure. I just gotta brainstorm, so that's why I say August and September plans. If I need to get stuff done before I leave, then I may have to take those plans out, but we'll just have to see. But right now we're just gonna enjoy our time, and I'm having a great time uploading videos. Alright, so we're at Chipotle. We are picking up an order, and also happy Cinco de Mayo. I ended up using that code for some free chips and queso, so we'll show you what we get for the order here. Coming up as well, we have the St. Louis Blues and Winnipeg Jets playing in the last game of round 1. So after that on Monday, you'll have my what we learned video coming out, and we'll see what went wrong with my bracket. And hopefully Colorado holds up Dallas, because it is 2-1 right now, and that would kill my bracket. Unlike Winnipeg losing to St. Louis, that would not kill my bracket. Colorado decided they were going to allow 4 goals in 10 minutes about, so suddenly they've lost, and my bracket is completely broken, and now I look like a complete idiot. So that's great. Other than that, we're done talking hockey. We were gonna show off the Chipotle before I head back to the crib. I probably should not have broke the seal because it's raining, but we got the queso, very warm, and then we got the chips. I think we all know what chips look like. Well, they said they ran out of rice, and personally, I tried putting tomato salsa, but then every time I put like some sort of liquid, it just kills this whole thing and it leaks through the bag. Anyways, this is a chicken quesadilla, but the honey chickens, so the honey chicken's really good, and then we have brown and white rice. Usually it depends, I'll get a brown rice, but if they could like put the tomato salsa in here or something that cannot kill that, because that is cardboard and that is not good cardboard, that would be great. So if I ever do an order online, I'll just double up on brown rice, because I just hate when the cardboard just breaks. Like, even if you do like something like this and they put it in there, it just kills the whole cardboard and leaks through the bag. I don't know if any of y'all have that problem, but I've had that problem continuously. Alright, well, close to 11 p.m. it snuck up right on me, so right now I am heading to the gym. I'm not taking the GoPro with me because I've had people get pissy with me having, let alone a phone. Let alone when I send a Snapchat streaks out or whatever. I've had people get pissy about that in the gym, even though it's late at night and there's cleaners that show up there around that time. So I'm not even going to bother taking the GoPro because they'll just get really pissy at me. And then other than that, I'll come back. I'll give you my Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues Game 7 prediction and then my fantasy picks, and we will call it a day. Alright, so after we got back from the gym, I ended up sleeping again. It's been a very busy week, especially I came back from Talladega, and then also there won't be any soccer matches coming on the channel because the St. Louis Blues and Winnipeg Jets watch party has postponed all games today, which is pretty lame, but I don't know. I don't make the rules, so you may not see any more soccer content of me playing on the channel this year, so that sucks. Other than that, the gym was good. The cleaners actually did not show up for once, so that's a little crazy. I'll give you my pick. Now I'm a little pissed off waking up to this. I have the Winnipeg Jets winning 3-2 over the St. Louis Blues. I'll give you my NASCAR fantasy picks as well really quick. For my fantasy picks, I have Austin Cindric, best long run car. Then I have Kyle Larson, who won Xfinity. And we have William Byron starting second. I expect him to be fast, more of a short run guy. I have Ty Gibbs. He could end up getting his first career win. He looks like the second best long run car. And then I have Carson Hocevar. I bet he'll fire off really good, and this is his best career track. And then in the garage, I have Denny Hamlin for those long green flag runs starting 8th. And then for matchups, I have Tyler Reddick over Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace over Daniel Suarez. This was the hard one, but Keselowski gets long run speed, so Keselowski over Chastain. And then this one's a no-brainer, even though they both have long run speed, but Cindric over Logano. So that'll be it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We didn't do too much, but we talked a little about plans. So I hope you enjoy your Sunday. God bless you. Go out to church. And have a great Sunday fun day. Take care.